If you've been following my videos, then this shouldn't really be a surprise, but we finally have HD copies of every single new Celebrations card. So you can look at that Pikachu logo in 4K. That's the entire main set, all the classic reprints, and even all the promos. I thought today we could have a quick look at all of them, and what better way to review them than a tier list. To celebrate hitting 10,000 subscribers, I'm giving away $10,000. All you have to do to win is like this video, subscribe to my channel, and comment happy 10,000 for a chance to win. That's it. That's all you have to do. Just press a few buttons and win money for free. To give more people a chance, I'm giving away $1,000 every week for 10 weeks to 10 different people. I announced the winner of the last giveaway in my previous video, but this is week 2. Make sure to also check out my Patreon to support me there, or you can also join as a YouTube member where we chat and I can give you Pokemon related tips and advice. I've also linked my socials in the description, and for each one of those you follow, you get a bonus entry. Let's try and hit 20,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Alright, here we go, ranking every single Celebrations card ever released. A few things that we need to just keep in mind. Remember, this is my personal opinion. Obviously, it's going to be subjective, but I'm going to try to rate each of the cards based on the artwork, the aesthetic of the card, and the general collectability of the card. I'm not really going to look at playability because, I mean, let's be real. Half the cards you can't even play legally, and obviously the promos you can't play either, so there's not really too much of a point looking at those. Secondly, keep in mind there's quite a lot of cards, so I have to be a little bit harsh because I'm ranking each of the cards against each other. If I just took each of the holos from these and compared it to like a regular set and the holos in that set, yeah, these ones are generally going to be a bit better, but I'm ranking them amongst each other. That's how a tier list works, so obviously I have to be a little bit harsher. So in case you don't know how a tier list works, S means it's super good and F means it's a fail. That's definitely what they stand for. And then there's obviously everything in between. So we're going to look at all 65 of the Celebrations cards that we have so far. So there's 25 main set cards, which we're going to do first. And then we're going to do the 25 classic reprints. And then I believe there's 15 promos so far, including those 2 gold cards that we looked at yesterday as well. And finally, I'm announcing the winner of the week 2 giveaway tomorrow. So, I mean, if you haven't already liked, commented, and subscribed, then I don't know what you're doing. You're missing out on possibly $1,000. So, I mean, yeah, with that being said, let us begin. All right, first up, we got the Ho-Oh. So remember, these are in order. So from 1 to 25, we're going to do the main set first. So Ho-Oh is number 1. Okay, so the first one is always a little bit tricky to do because you don't really have anything else to rank it against. But I think it's a pretty decent holo. I like the Pokemon, and I think the background of it looks pretty nice as well. So I'm going to put it in B tier for now. Reshiram, I don't think is very good. I don't really like the artwork of it. It looks a little bit weird. I see kind of the style they were trying to go for, but I think the execution could have been a bit better. So I'm going to put it in D for now. Kyogre, one of my favorite Pokemon. I love this Pokemon, and I really like the fact that Team Aqua is on there as well. So this one is going to go also into B tier, but I'm going to put it slightly higher than Ho-Oh. So each of the tiers are going to be ranked as well. I don't know if I'll do that for the whole thing, but we'll see. There might be too many later. Palkia, this one I really don't like. I think this one was a pretty just weak card. Seems very low effort. I feel like they could have done so much more with Palkia. So this one is going to be the first F tier card. Next up, we got the Full Art Reimagination of Pikachu. I mean, this is straight to S tier. No question about it. Absolutely beautiful card. And the only thing I have to say about that is I just wish there were more of these kind of Full Art reimaginations. Can you imagine if they did like a Full Art Charizard and a Full Art Blastoise, Venusaur, a Full Art Umbreon, a Full Art Mew? What else do we got? We have like Gardevoir, Garchomp. Like, imagine if all of these cards got full arts. This set would have been, I mean, something absolutely insane. But that is the only one we have, so that goes straight to S tier. Now, next up, we have the reimagination of the Flying Pikachu. This one, I feel like they could have done a little bit more with it. It's not that different to the old one. I guess it's like a modern take, but it's not that special. I think C is pretty fair for that one. The fat VMAX version of it, though, I really like. I just love these fat Pikachus, so that one's going to A for me. And Surfing Pikachu joins its flying brother in the C tier. This second fat one, I don't know. For some reason, I feel like the one where he's flying is slightly better. So I'm gonna put it at the I'll put it at top of B tier for now. Okay. But these might shuffle up a bit up and down as we go along. Quickly, one more thing that I forgot to mention was that if you haven't actually seen the full versions of all of these cards, I've made a set list video pretty recently looking at the full versions of all of them, so make sure you go check that out if you haven't. And you can also find the HD versions in the pokebeach article, which I've linked in the description. Okay, next up we have Zekrom, which is similar to the Reshiram. I mean, like, it's cool that they kind of have this like matching artwork. I really like that they did that. But at the same time, I feel like the execution of these cards is a little bit weak compared to some of these other holos. This Mew, though, I think this is probably my favorite holo. I actually really like this card. I think it looks great. The artwork of Mew is great, and actually the real card itself, if you look at it, just the holo pattern on it actually looks really nice compared to some of these other ones. I feel like it works really well with this one, so I'll put it in A tier for now. Xerneas, decent, pretty average, nothing too amazing, nothing too terrible. Okay, next up we have Cosmog. Once again, I mean, it's okay, nothing really too special about these. I think Cosmog and Cosmon probably both go in C tier. The Lunala I kind of like a little bit more because it has Lily in the background, so this is going to go bottom of B tier. Next up we have Zation V. I actually really like this card. I feel like this is one of the better full art V cards that we've actually gotten. So this one's actually going to go into A tier. I really like the artwork on that one. The Groudon, similar to the Kyogre, I think it is pretty nice that they have the Team Magma on there. I think the card is pretty decent. I think top of C though. I don't think it makes B. Very close, but not quite there yet. Next up we have Zamazenta. I mean, very similar to the Zation, so these two are both going to stay in A together. Yveltal I feel like is a bit of a weaker artwork. I don't know, it just looks like every other Yveltal card to me. Nothing too special about this one, so that's going to go D, but I do like it slightly more than these two things. Dialga, very similar to Palkia. I think the artwork on this is very weak, seems kind of low effort. I don't know, I wish they did more with these two iconic Pokemon. Next up we have Solgaleo, which I actually really like. I want to put this in A tier actually, because similar to the Lunala, you have Lily in the background, but this one I feel like captures both the Pokemon and the trainer really nicely, and I love those cards where they have both the Pokemon and the trainer. I feel like it just adds like an extra added layer to the card, if that kind of makes sense. But yeah, so that one's going to go A tier for me. I want to put it below the Zation and Zamazenta though. Next up we have Lugia, similar to the Ho-Oh. I think it is cool how they kind of fit together in this artwork, but nothing really too special. They're going to be B's for me. Next up we have Professor's Research, just the regular version. This one I actually think is really creative and unique, so that's going to go pretty much top of B tier for me, because you can actually see he's like writing outside the card. He's like leaning outside of the card and writing on it, which I mean, it's just so unique and creative. I wish they did something like that with more of cards, but they haven't, but that's okay. We have the full art version of him as well, which actually, I mean, I really think it's very nice, but I don't really think it's that much more amazing than the regular one, because it's just a regular full art trainer. I mean, it's a nice card, nothing too special. Next, we have the shiny Golden Mew. I mean, this one is absolutely beautiful. Has to be an S tier. No question about that. So that one goes straight to... you know what? I'm actually going to put it under the Pikachu. I mean, I think this Pikachu is absolutely brilliant. So it's going to be under that Pikachu, but, still S tier. Next up, we got that base set trio. I mean, the three big boys. I'm going to actually do something a little bit interesting for these ones, because I don't actually think these are as amazing as a lot of people say. I know a lot of people are going to put these straight into S tier. I actually would probably put these three, all three of them pretty much in A tier. And I want to put Charizard at the bottom of them. Now, the reason I've done that, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, he's just trying to be like unique and not put them in S tier. But I do actually genuinely have a reason for that. This base set Charizard has been recreated and reprinted so many times. I'm not even just talking about, Unlimited and Shadowless and all that stuff. I'm not even talking about base set 2. Even after that, we've had multiple variations of it, even as recently as evolutions. I mean, it's just everywhere, and I don't... I understand why Charizard is in this set, and it's totally fine that it is there. I just would have liked to see like a full art version of it. Same with the Blastoise and Venusaur. But with these three being here, I think the A tier. I actually don't think they're as special as the some of these S tier ones. I guess they would be like top of S tier though. This one would probably go like here. Yeah, that's probably kind of how I would arrange them. Next up, we have Imposter Professor Oak. Once again, I don't really know why this was reprinted. Literally no one asked for this, but for some reason it's in here anyway. F tier. Dark Gyarados, I think this is pretty cool. Probably top of B tier. There are a few better Dark Pokemon choices they could have gone with, but I do think it's pretty nice. Here comes Team Rocket, also F tier. I mean, look, I love Team Rocket, and I think they're great, but this card didn't really need to be reprinted. We even had one as recently as Evolutions, so I think, F tier card for me. Rocket Zapdos, I actually do like this one, even slightly more than the Dark Gyarados. I think it's a cool artwork, and it's a cool Rockets Pokemon, so that's going to go top of B tier. Birthday Pikachu, I really like this. Really, really, really like this. And the reason for that is, I think I've said this before, but when this card was originally given out, a lot of people just like wrote their friends' names on it and just gave it out, because that's kind of what it was made for. It was made to actually, just give out as a birthday gift, or as just a gift to someone. But because of how expensive these have become, no one can really do that anymore. But obviously, with Celebrations reprints, the cards are going to be much more affordable, and it'd be super fun to actually like give this to someone as a gift, with their name on it, or without their name on it. Doesn't matter. But I think that's really a really good idea that they reprinted this. And obviously, it completely makes sense that they reprint the birthday Pikachu for the 25th anniversary of Pokemon, right? I mean, it's their 25th birthday. Next up, we have Cleffa. Now, I don't really see why this card was reprinted. Like, I understand that it was super good in the TCG back in the day. But having said that, I feel like there was still much better reprints that they could have chosen. And, just there's nothing really too special about this card. It's cute. It's better than, obviously, Imposter Professor Oak, but nothing too amazing, so that's going to be in D tier for me. Shining Magikarp is going to be top of C tier. Actually, let's put it in bottom B tier. Let's put it B tier. I think it kind of has a similar vibe to like Rocket Zapdos and Dark Gyarados. So I think I'd put it around there. Nothing too special, but pretty solid choice. This Groudon I really don't like. I'm gonna put this in F tier. I genuinely think this artwork of Groudon just looks so strange, and honestly, I just wish they had chosen like a better version of this to reprint. Rocket's admin also goes F tier. These three cards, I don't care if they were playable. There's no need for these to be reprinted. No one is going to open a Rocket's admin and be excited, You want people to be opening packs, the 25th anniversary celebrations packs, having fun and being excited to open the packs. Trust me, no one is being excited to open these. Yeah, maybe you're going to open one and be like, oh, cool, nostalgia. And then you're going to just not really care. They're not going to be worth much. No one's going to really want them. It's just the reality of the situation. Next up, we have the Mew, which I think actually looks really pretty. So this one I'm going to put in A tier. I'm actually going to put it above the... this is rough. I'll put it here. I really do like base set Blastoise and Venusaur because I don't think they've been reprinted as many times as the Charizard. So I think those are pretty good choices. And the Mew probably just slot in right under them because I think it's a really pretty card. Next up, we have this Gardevoir. I actually do think this card looks pretty decent, but nothing really too special. And I don't know, I wish Gardevoir got a nicer card reprinted, but this is a pretty decent choice. Umbreon Goldstar, I think, is just one of the best choices here. I'm even going to put it above the birthday Pikachu because a raw Umbreon nowadays is just so incredibly expensive that it's pretty much impossible for the regular collector to get it. So these are the cards that I think are really good choices as reprints because people can actually get a chance to own these cards that they've never had a chance to own before. So I think that's an absolutely fantastic choice, top of A. Claydol, on the other hand, I don't care if you're playable. You're going to go into D tier. Like, the artwork on this card is boring. The collectability of this card is not there. There's no excitement. No one is going to be excited to open a bunch of these cards, including this Claydol. This Luxray I actually really do like, though, and I think it's even better than the Rocket Zapdos, so top of B. And the Garchomp I even like slightly more, so that's going to be the new top of B. I think those two are pretty good choices, and all of these kind of give me a similar vibe, where they're kind of not necessarily average, but just like top of average, like just above average, if that kind of makes sense. Because I think they're good choices, but nothing too amazing. Donphan, another card that didn't really need to be reprinted. I think it's slightly better than some of these other D tiers, but it's going to be around that top of D tier. This next card, Reshiram Full Art, I actually really love the original version of this card. I think it looks super clean. The minimalistic artwork looks absolutely amazing. It looks really nice. But that Pikachu logo kind of just ruins this card for me. I know I complain about it a lot, but especially on these cards, you can tell even more so. They just stand out and look even uglier than usual. So unfortunately, because of that, I can't really put these any higher than a C. Same with the Zekrom. That Pikachu, it just stands out. And yeah, it just kind of ruins the aesthetic of the entire card. I feel like although these were good choices to reprint, because they're going to put the Pikachu logo on them, I feel like they should have gone with different versions that aren't so impacted by that logo. This Mewtwo is pretty boring, really, nothing too special. There's way better versions of Mewtwo that they could have reprinted, but they went with this one, so it is what it is. This next card, the Xerneas, this is probably the worst reprint out of all of them. I don't know why this card was reprinted. The artwork's boring, the Pokemon looks weird, and there's just really nothing about this card. I'll put it maybe slightly above some of these, but really not too high. Mega Rayquaza, I think this card actually does look pretty good, but not as, impactful of a reprint as some of these other ones, so I'll probably put it somewhere in B tier. Next up, we have Tapulele Gx. Yep, I know how dominant this was in the TCG. I don't care. As a collectible item, the artwork on this, nothing really is too special about this. Tapulele is such a recent card as well. If you want, you can still go pick up one of them. So I don't think it was necessary for this to be reprinted. And that wraps up every single Celebrations card from the main set and the classic reprint set. And now we're going to do the promo cards. So the first one is the fat, chunky Pikachu, which I absolutely love. I'm really glad this actually came over to English because this used to be a Japanese exclusive for a very short amount of time. So this one I'm going to put right around the middle of A tier. I think it looks adorable. Next, we've got the Dragonport Prime card. I actually really like Prime cards, and I think they did this pretty well. Not super amazing, but I think definitely up there at the top of B. Next up, we have Lance's Charizard, which, I mean, I'm pretty 50-50 on this card, because although I do think Lance's Charizard was a great idea, I think they could have done it a little bit better. I really like the Charizard artwork, but Lance looks like he's straight out of, like, Wreck-It Ralph or something. So, I mean, it's just a bit strange to me, but I'm going to put it probably kind of, a pretty average card. Put it like around here or something. Next, we've got Dark Silvion V. This one is a little bit weird. I feel like they kind of missed the mark because, I mean, Dark Pokemon don't really look exactly like the style they've gone for in this artwork. And honestly, I get that, it's kind of like a back shot of Silvion, but you can barely tell what it is. Like, it just looks like kind of a bit strange to me and out of place. I wish they kind of did it in the style of like other Dark Pokemon. I feel like that could have been very interesting if they did that for Silvion instead. But, Silvion is still a good choice. So I'm going to put it kind of at the bottom of C tier-ish. Maybe like around here. Middle of C tier. This thing's too high. Let's put it there. There. Put it there. Zation Level X. See, this is an example of an old mechanic that was actually done well. I think this one is really cool. I'm going to put it kind of around that Dragonport. I kind of even like it slightly more because the style, I just really like the aesthetic of the card. So kind of top of B tier around there. The next up, we have the Mimikyu Delta species. I actually think this card is really underrated. This is probably one of my favorite promos. The artwork on this one, I really, really like how it looks. And I think they really nailed how Mimikyu looks as a Delta species card. Yeah, I think it's really great. Overlooked as well. Same with this Light Toxtricity as well. I mean, I think it looks pretty funny how he's just like chilling on a rock with like these oddish surrounding him. I think it's even slightly around similar to the Zation and Dragonport, I would say. Top of B. The Hydreigon C card, I feel like, is the weakest of these promos. I don't know, like, I just feel like it just looks like every regular Hydreigon card that you see. So I'm going to put it pretty much lower down on the C tier. Maybe even like top of D, honestly. Next up is the Pikachu V Union card. Now, this one I'm going to judge it as like a whole Union card. I'm not going to judge the individual pieces. And as a whole card, I think it's just like a really, really cool. Definitely A tier. The only thing is like, yeah, obviously you need all 4 of the cards to make like that nice big card. But yeah, if you judge it like that, I think it's a really nice, cool and creative idea. The Pikachu V promo, I mean, yeah, it's pretty cute, but nothing too special, pretty average Pikachu artwork. Greninja Goldstar, I think this one is really, really nice. I really like this one. I feel like they really nailed how that like Goldstar aesthetic. I mean, if you compare it to like Umbreon, for example, I feel like they've really captured that original Goldstar essence in this new Pokemon. I think Greninja obviously was a great pick, really popular Pokemon, so they did really well with that, and I think it's definitely an A tier card. Next up, we have the gold promos from the Ultra Premium Collection. So we've got that Pikachu V, which I think looks okay. It's a bit difficult. I mean, I assume in person it'll probably look a little bit clearer, but from what I can see here, I mean, it's not really too good. I think I really don't. Not a huge fan of what they've done with these metal cards. Hopefully in person they're a bit easier to look at. Maybe that might make them go up a bit more. But this gold this Pokeball, golden Pokeball kind of just looks weird. I'm not really a huge fan, to be honest. Now, the gold Charizard and Pikachu I actually think is much better, although they kind of remind me of those proxy fake cards that people sell on eBay. I think the idea they went for was definitely there. The execution could have been a little bit better, but I think definitely putting these in B tier is fair, somewhere around here. And yeah, there you go. That's my tier list of every single Celebrations card that we've seen so far. But you know what? I'm going to link this tier list in my description, and I want you guys to actually try it out for yourself. Rank the cards how you would, and then take a photo, take a screenshot, and send it to me on like Discord, Instagram, or Twitter, wherever is easiest for you. And I will have a look at all of your tier lists, because I actually want to see all of your tier lists and see where you guys would put each of these cards. Because, I mean, obviously a lot of people are going to have very, very differing opinions, especially on some of like those reprints. I know a lot of people are like, oh, they were playable, I love them, blah blah blah. I get it, okay? If that's your thing, then totally fine. Rank them, send it to me, and I'll rate your tier lists. How about that? I'll rate your tier lists. Let me know if you guys like these kind of tier list videos. If so, then I might have to go back and do some older sets, and I'll probably do some for upcoming sets as well. If not, then well, this might be the last tier list you ever see. So make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and comment something, whatever you want. Happy 10,000. The Pokemon Company seem to be sending celebrations cards to pretty much everyone except for me, so I'm gonna have to wait like the rest of you to open them. So hopefully we can finally open some celebrations up soon. But until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.